The silence feels different now, like a window finally opened wide. I never thought I'd find relief on the other side of goodbye. I've spent 100 restless nights trying to untangle what went wrong, writing thoughts I never sent, learning how to move along. Sometimes I wonder if you ever stop and think about the damage left behind, or if you've already closed the chapter while I'm still reading every line. I try to explain the weight I carried, but you only heard what suited you. And it's strange to admit it now, but my heart feels light without you around. I wish I could tell a different story. I wish the truth didn't sound this way. The farther I get from your shadow, the easier it is to breathe again. I never thought that letting go would bring me closer to myself. You always had a way of turning storms into reasons I should stay. Every concern became an argument, every feeling pushed away. I lost pieces of myself defending you and called it loyalty for years. Ignored the voices that love me most while drowning in my fears. Now I see the cracks I covered up and the excuses I designed, trying to save what wasn't healthy while slowly losing my own mind. Some lessons arrive as heartbreak, some truths arrive too late. And it's strange to admit it now, but my heart feels lighter without you around. I wish I could tell a different story. I wish the truth didn't sound this way. The farther I get from your shadow, the easier it is to breathe again. I never thought that letting go would bring me closer to myself. I don't need revenge, I don't need to make you understand. The peace I found is louder than every apology. I never had the person I was back then, stayed too long inside the rain. Now I'm learning how to stand without carrying your pain. And it's strange to admit it now, but the sky feels brighter without you around. What once felt like an ending became the start of something new. The farther I get from your shadow, the stronger I become each day. I finally found the missing pieces that disappeared along the way. I thought losing you would break me. Instead, it brought me home. I remember all the careful answers. Every time I'd ask about her name, you'd smile and tell me not to worry, like I was only making up a game. signs that kept appearing. Turn my doubts into excuses in my head. Holding on to us a little tighter, while the truth was moving somewhere else instead. Funny how the things you swore were harmless became the reason I can't sleep at night. You moved on before the goodbye faded, before the dust had settled from the fall. Maybe you never crossed the line I feared, but you weren't protecting us at all. I gave you every broken piece of me, believing love could carry through. Now every memory feels different, knowing how quickly you found someone new. Now I see you walking through the places where we used to spend our afternoons, like our story was a temporary chapter, and forgetting it was easy for you. The hardest part was not the ending, it was learning what had always been there. Every promise sounds a little different when another heart was waiting somewhere. Funny how I questioned what I felt, and somehow ended up blaming myself. Ooh, you moved on before the goodbye faded, before the dust had settled from the fall. Maybe you never crossed the line I feared, but you weren't protecting us at all. I gave you every broken piece of me, believing love could carry through. Now every memory feels different, knowing how quickly you found someone new. I wish you had been honest from the start, before I built a future in my heart, before I trusted every word you said and painted forever where there wasn't any left. Now she's living in the space you promised would belong to no one else but me. And every unanswered conversation finally means exactly what I see. You moved on before the goodbye faded, like I was already part of the past. Maybe that's the truth I couldn't face, that what I gave was never built to last. I gave you every broken piece of me, and watched you leave without looking back. Now I know some wounds are made by strangers, they're made by the ones we trusted most. I don't miss who you are now. I miss who I believed you were. I won't waste another minute asking where your life has gone. How's the kingdom that you built from promises you leaned upon? Looks like you're shining just the way you always planned it. I see the pictures, all the headlines, all the faces by your side, the perfect image that you crafted while the truth stayed out of sight. I gave you trust freely, now I laugh at how completely I've made mistakes I can't admit, but yours were hidden underneath. You were your charm like armor, turned every warning into doubt, made me question what I knew until I couldn't find my way out. I thought I saw something honest behind the stories that you told, but every light you held before me dismissed as jealousy. And somehow I believed you more than the people next to me. You had an answer for everything, a reason nothing was your fault. Looking back I see the pattern, like footprints leading through the dark. You made deception look so easy, like truth was just another role. You wore your charm like armor, turn every warning into doubt, made me question what I knew, until I couldn't find my way out. I thought I saw something honest behind the stories that you told, but every light you held before me only covered something cold. Maybe that's the hardest lesson, not the ending, not the pain, but realizing who I trusted wasn't who they claimed to be. I wanted to believe in something that was never really there, and now the smoke is finally cleared. I can breathe a different air. You wore your charm like armor, but I can see right through it now. The illusion lost its power the moment truth came crashing down. I don't need revenge to heal me, I don't need to hear your sigh. The strongest thing I've ever done was leave the story far behind. You built your world on smoke and mirrors, I built mine from surviving them. I've spent so many years retracing old footsteps, searching for answers in places they've never been. Every road I follow promised understanding, but somehow I ended up lost again. There's a quiet space between us now, filled with words we never found, and I'm standing in the middle of it, trying not to drown. If you can hear the truth beneath my voice, maybe you'll understand the choices. Be gentle when you think of me, I was learning as I went, trying to build a life from pieces before I knew what they meant. I never had the wisdom then to see beyond the moment's view. I made decisions with a heart already long before I knew what love could do. Some people change like moving rivers, others stay where they've always been. We kept pulling in different directions, calling it hope, calling it commitment. You can say I should have done better, maybe that's a fair thing to believe, but I carried dreams too heavy for my shoulders and expectations I couldn't keep. I gave more than I knew how to give and lost myself trying to make it fit. Be gentle they came from hope and honest faith. But good intentions don't always save us from the roads we choose to take. And maybe now it doesn't matter. Maybe now it's far too late. Still I hope one day you'll see me with a little more grace. Be gentle when you think of me. I'm not the person that I was then. Every scar became a lesson. Every ending helped me mend. I never had the answers then. I barely understood myself, but I was doing the best I could with the life I'd been dealt. Before I knew better, I was just trying to find my way. Someone mentioned your name last night, like a photograph pulled from another life. They said you're happy, doing well these days, building a future in a different place. I sat there smiling, pretending I'm okay, while old memories quietly drifted my way. Funny how a single sentence can unfold 1,000 stories buried in the soul. I never planned on looking back, but some roads still remember where you've been. Somewhere you're smiling beneath another sky, living the dreams we once imagined side by side. And though the ending wasn't what we drew, I still hope every good thing finds its way to you. If my name ever crosses your mind, like a melody you've left behind, just know a piece of me will always care, even if we no longer meet there. The years move faster than I realize. Seasons disappear before my eyes. What once felt endless now feels far away, like sunlight fading at the end of day. We were young enough to call it forever, certain nothing could pull us apart ever. Now those promises rest with the past, like leaves carried away too fast. Some memories soften with the rain, some never truly fade away. Somewhere you're smiling beneath another sky, living the dreams we once imagined side by side. And though the ending wasn't what we drew, I still hope every good thing finds its way to you. If my name ever crosses your mind, like a melody you've left behind, just know a piece of me will always care, even if we no longer meet there. Life has a way of changing plans, turning forever into distant lands. Every mistake, every goodbye became another reason why. to stay. Sometimes it's there to shape us on the way. Somewhere you're smiling beneath another sky, and somehow knowing that helps me survive. Though our story closed long ago, the chapters still live inside my soul. If my name ever crosses your mind, don't let the memories make you cry. Just remember there was once a time when your heart and mine shared the same light. And wherever life has taken you, I hope it has been kind to you. It's been a long time now. Sometimes I wonder if you'd recognize my voice. After all these passing years and all the roads we didn't choose, I still replay the conversations that never found their proper end. They said the scars would fade with time, but some remain beneath the skin. I remember who we were before the weight of life arrived, before the world grew louder and pulled us to different sides. From across the silence, I've reached for you 1,000 nights, trying to send my words through the distance, trying to make things right. If regret could cross the ocean, maybe it would find your shore. But every message disappears like footsteps through an open door. I hope the years have treated you kindly and given you the things we used to dream about. Did you ever leave that little place where we thought forever would work out? It's strange how two hearts can drift apart without meaning to let go. And stranger still how memories stay long after people go. We both became different stories, written on separate pages now. From across the silence, I've reached for you 1,000 nights, trying to send my words through the distance, trying to make things right. If regret could cross the ocean, maybe it would find your shore. But every message disappears like footsteps through an open door. I don't expect forgiveness, I don't expect you to return. Some lessons leave an echo long after they are learned. And maybe you've already found the peace I couldn't give, while I'm still speaking to the past, trying to learn how to live. From across the silence, I send these words into the dark, not to reopen old wounds, but to honor who we are. If my voice still reaches somewhere beyond the years we left behind, just know there was a part of between us. I still wish you well tonight. Across the silence, across the silence. Every face around you lights up when you arrive, like you've carried all the memories back to life. The room keeps turning towards your glow, and suddenly I feel less alone. But if fate has left us standing here tonight, could I steal a little piece of time? I've spent these hours lost in the crowd, wondering if you still know me now. You look like a page from a story I knew, a melody carried from years long gone too soon. Let me keep this moment in my mind before it fades into another passing night. For a second we're the same two souls, before the years took their toll. Back when forever felt close enough to touch, before growing up has too much of us. The memory shines like a silver screen, a beautiful version of what used to be. I never thought I'd see your face again, not after all the places you've been. I heard you chased another sky and left our little world behind. Now the distance feels smaller somehow, standing only a few feet away now. Yet there's a lifetime in between the people we were and what we've become. You sound like the songs that filled those days, and every note pulls me back again. Let me keep this moment in my mind before it fades into another passing night. For a second we're the same two souls, before the years took their toll. Back when forever felt close enough to touch, before growing up has too much of us. The memory shines like a silver screen, a beautiful version of what used to be. Time keeps moving without permission, but some hearts stay frozen in position. And somewhere beneath all these years, your name still lingers in my ears. Maybe that's why I'm afraid to leave, because tonight feels like a forgotten dream. Return for one last scene. Let me keep this moment in my mind like a star that refuses to lose its light. For a second we're the same two souls, before life scattered us like smoke. Back when every road seemed endless ahead, before reality lived inside our heads. The memory shines like a silver screen, a beautiful version of what used to be. And when the lights all disappear, I'll still find you somewhere here, inside the echoes of those years. You painted futures on a casual afternoon, like forever was a place alleys we'd both be walking to. You'd laugh it off before I could believe it all, leaving me suspended every time you let it fall. I collected every little promise in the air, built a home from possibilities that weren't really there. I thought I knew the language hidden in your eyes. Now I know I was translating all the wrong signs. I mistook uncertainty for depth and silence for something meaningful. Wasn't loving you. Maybe I was loving who I hoped you'd be, holding on to a reflection that only existed inside of me. I gave chances where there should have been goodbyes, turned red flags into reasons to stay and try. Now I see the truth more clearly than before. I wasn't losing you, I was losing myself more. I crossed cities just to keep us from falling apart, while you kept one foot outside my heart. Every excuse I made for you became a chain, and somehow I convinced myself that's what love became. The hardest lesson wasn't watching you move on, it was realizing the warning signs were there all along. I kept defending things that never felt quite right, until the daylight finally reached the night. Some people teach you what love is, others teach you what it isn't. Maybe I wasn't loving you. Maybe I was loving who I hoped you'd be, holding on to a reflection that only existed inside of me. I gave chances where there should have been goodbyes, turned red flags into reasons to stay and try. Now I see the truth more clearly than before. I wasn't losing you, I was losing myself more. You don't get to tell me how much this should hurt or decide what my healing is worth. I opened every door you never walked through, and still somehow I blame myself for losing you. But I'm done carrying a story that was never true. Maybe I wasn't loving you. Maybe I was loving a dream I designed, a picture I protected even when reality drew another line. Now the mirror shows a stronger heart, one that finally knows where to start. I won't chase what never wanted to stay. I'm choosing myself from this day. If I've learned anything from loving wrong, it's that leaving can be the bravest form of moving on. You made a space for me inside your everyday, like I belonged in every future that you say. We fill the evenings with impossible plans, drawing maps to places we never reach again. I learned your fears, your hidden scars, listening beneath the stars. Believe that love meant carrying the weight of every storm you couldn't face. I poured my heart into your hands while you were already letting go. I want back every midnight conversation, every promise I defended without hesitation. All the energy I spent trying to keep us alive when you had already left us behind. You took my trust and wore it thin, made me question where I've been. And now the hardest truth I've found is that your words were never solid ground. My friends could see what I refused to know. They watched the cracks begin to show, but I kept choosing what I wanted to believe instead of seeing what was right in front of me. I made excuses every time you disappeared, turned my doubts into another year, holding on to something fading fast, trying to make forever last. Now the silence says more than you ever did, and somehow that's enough. Every promise I defended without hesitation. All the energy I spent trying to keep us alive when you had already left us behind. You took my trust and wore it thin, made me question where I've been. And now the hardest truth I've found is that your words were never solid ground. Regret the love I gave, only the time I stayed too long. Some people teach you how to trust, others teach you when you're wrong. And maybe that's the lesson here, not every heart deserves a key. Sometimes the person you save the most should finally be yourself. I want back every tear I wasted, every dream that slowly faded, every piece of me I sacrificed, trying to make your love feel right. But I'm not looking back again. I finally reached the end, and what you lost isn't mine anymore. Because I'm stronger than before. You can keep the memory, I'll keep the strength they gave to me. You never were the kind to say what's on your mind, so I had to learn the truth from all the empty nights. Maybe you were chasing something I could never be, while I was holding on to what I thought we'd never leave. Then out of nowhere, here you are again, calling like the distance never happened in the end. The timing's funny now that everything went wrong. You remember where I am when you're alone. I used to be the place you'd run to whenever the world let you down. Now you're standing at the door you walked away from, asking if there's anything still left to say. But the heart you left behind has learned to heal itself, and it doesn't beat the same. You can tell me that you miss me, you can tell me that you change, but some apologies arrive too late, and some losses stay that way. I remember every room that we reach my ears. How you moved ahead while I was drowning in the years. For a while I kept checking every light on my phone, hoping somehow you'd remember I was home. But time has a way of teaching difficult truths, and showing who was willing to stay and who would choose to leave without a warning, then come back when it's done, expecting everything to be undone. You thought I'd still be waiting, exactly where you left me. Now you're standing at the door you walked away from, asking if there's anything still left to say. But the heart you left behind has learned to heal itself, and it doesn't beat the same. You can tell me that you miss me, you can tell me that you changed, but some apologies arrive too late, and some losses stay that way. Did you think the years would pause for you? Did you think the pain would disappear? I spent too long rebuilding everything to let you rewrite what happened here. Now you're standing at the door you walked away from, but the person you remember isn't here anymore. I found strength inside the silence, and peace beyond the war. You can keep the memories you left me, I don't need them to remain, because the